everybody. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, it is Dimma here. Gosh, this is a sit down video. First and last one I did this year, I did in my old place, and it was like an update video where I kind of explained to you guys what had been going on with me, but I miss talking to the camera. I've not done that in such a long time. This is the first video that I'm doing in this new filming space. So I asked you guys on Instagram as usual to ask me questions, and I got quite a lot of questions in the thousands. Questions that I even answered like a couple of weeks ago, because I did a Q&A where I just kind of answered questions just on Instagram. So I have my phone here, I have the questions here, and we're just going to get right into it. Let's not waste time, okay? Let's not waste time. The first one is, how are you? So this is from Teresa. This is a very thoughtful question. Thank you. I actually have different, I kind of glanced through earlier, and I have different versions of this particular question. Some of you are really saying things like, how are you really? Like it's almost like don't faff about, don't lie, don't make things look good, like even if they are not, just tell us how you are. And to be honest guys, I am well. Like I am in a way better place than I was the last time I did a sit down chit chat video with you guys, and it's all God, so I'm very thankful. So for all of you who are really like asking me this, I'm okay. Thank you so much. So this is from Enyinia123, and he's asking, what do you think is the scariest moment of your life? I'll probably say last year. To be honest, like I've talked to you guys about this before, but you know, I don't know, maybe I've had scarier moments. This is just like, and I've had quite a few scary moments, but I think that last year was something. Okay, so I think that's one of the quickest ones that, without thinking too much, I say last year. The next one is, do you have YouTube friends? So this is from Teresa. Do you have YouTube friends, like friends that help you to be creative and post? I have friends, but I don't really have friends that their sole responsible, their sole jobs is to help me post. I pay them.
Papingo Dabalaya, big town in town.
Like, the people who I work with are technically my friends, and I actually pay them, but I wouldn't say that I have them as friends for the sole purpose of, you know, creating and posting for me, if that makes sense. And this is another one from Teresa I'm going to take, and she's asking, are you going to get another tattoo? So the past 3 questions have been from her, so I'm going to move on from her really quickly, just hold on. But she's asking, are you going to get another tattoo? I'm going to just say that I don't think that this is my last tattoo, the one that I got. I know that people talk about like how when you start, like it's kind of addictive and you feel like you have to do more and more and more. I'm not kind of thinking like that, but I also know that there's a very strong possibility that I will get another one in the future. Okay, so Christabel is here asking me if I love her. No, I don't, dear. The next one is on serious question. This is from D Ubani, and she's asking, do you plan to jabba anytime soon? Everyone is asking lately. This is a very valid question. I'm not going to lie to you and say that I have not had several moments where I just started rethinking my whole life, okay, this past year, or even in the past 2 years. I would say things have just been somehow here. If you live in Nigeria, you know what I'm talking about. And if you're not Nigerian, when someone says japa, they kind of mean relocating, moving out of the country. A lot of people have been doing it in recent times from here in waves, like in droves. Like people are moving to other places. I'm not going to lie and say I have not considered it, but I can't say in this video now that I am going to be doing it. I feel like that's a fair enough answer. So this is from Diubani as well, and she's also asking serious question. What are you the most passionate about right now? I will just say like really self-care, taking care of myself, maintaining certain relationships that I have, and just putting or giving more time to the things that actually make me genuinely happy, you know? Yeah, those things. Like, you might be like, are they not like normal everyday things? Why are you saying that you're passionate about them? Guys, to be honest, I am passionate about them right now. These are the things I take the most seriously, and I see myself actively trying to do stuff about. And because most of the time, maybe in the past, people have asked me about passions, I always talk to things related to work or things that could give me money. You know, you go a long time thinking about things like that all the time. But now I'm passionate about other things that you people will not understand what I'm saying. So the next question is from FE_classic_, and it's, how do you keep yourself and things organized? Share tips, thank you. I think that organization is one of those things that come really easy to me. I don't want to sound somehow, but I don't know if it's a first child, first girl syndrome thing. I feel like I don't want to say it's compulsive, but I feel like in every area of my life, I think I have to organize things first before I begin to process. And I remember reading an article years ago that kind of talked about like people, thinkers, and people who like the way their minds work. If you're not like an organized like thinker, and if things are all over the place in your head most of the time, people like that try to compensate for it by making sure that external things are organized, like their environment are organized, like the bed, the room, the kitchen, like their spaces are organized, right? Which is what you guys mostly see. But then I remember that article also saying that people who think in a very like step-by-step methodical, I don't know, like who are more organized thinkers, right? Who things kind of the way they process things in their brain is a bit more organized, that they tend to be very scattered because I feel like they don't feel like they need to compensate for anything. I don't know how true this is. So I wouldn't say that it's something that I have put effort into doing so I can share tips on. Do you understand? It's just something that I feel like I have to do. But for someone who is trying to cultivate this habit, I said be more intentional about it and begin to look at things from like a perspective that maybe considers aesthetics most of the time. And I think if you're thinking about that when it comes to your environment, your space, and just putting yourself together, then I think it gets easier. I don't know, like if you have better tips than this time I just chatted, share it in the comment section, please. But that's all I can think about right now. So this is from Mary_Thoya, and she's asking, hello, my name is Dimma from Kenya. Do you think marriage is possible for a career lady? There are career ladies everywhere that I'm sorry. I know that I kind of sounded a bit funny right now, but I think it's very, very possible. I know like way too many career ladies who have thriving, functional marriages. So this is not me just talking about anything. Some of them my age, some of them way older, and it's something that I think is easier if you have a partner that actually cares. Like I feel like if you're with someone who loves you, someone who understands and respects that part of you, and is sensitive and considers you a human being and not a robot or slave, okay, and is also not intimidated by whatever your career is bringing in. Yeah, for some people it might sound like I'm describing a unicorn, but I feel like there are actually more men like that than we think. Do you understand? So I think that a career lady, like, yes, it's very, very much possible that you find your person and settle with the person. This is from Rukaro_naturals, and I've answered this question multiple times, but I've also noticed that I have different versions of it in this particular Q&A. So I'm going to try and answer it thoroughly in a way that no matter how you've structured yours, I answer it. So I've had a lot of people asking me if I have another job outside of content creation recently. I've had a lot of people asking me this with regards to travel and how I am, you know, I feel like if you've been following me for a very long time, you know that I actually, prior to pre-COVID, like travel was something that was high up on my list, and I would do that for work and for pleasure most of the time. But then I feel like I've also made a couple of lifestyle changes in recent times that I feel like is driving this question. You guys have seen me like notice recently that I'm also spending more money on stuff like clothes, bags, shoes, like shopping from places that I wouldn't typically do it. Do you people want to know why? It's not like I hit a container of money recently or that I discovered a tree that is growing money for me recently. The reason is because you realize at a point that this life is one come. Do you understand that? Yeah, okay. I'm just going to give you guys a typical example that kind of answers what you like, would answer some versions of this question. So I've always been a bag person, and I remember like some of the other previous Q&As that I have done, some of you would ask me like, are you a shoe or bag person? I'll say bags, and I'll talk about, oh, when I actually start investing in designer stuff, that I'll definitely start with bags. Okay. And I remember one conversation, I'm bringing up this conversation now because I remember this is a point last year that I had with Adebayo Okelawal. I'm sure that he does not even remember this conversation, but it was one of the first times I met him. And he was asking me this same question that some of you had asked me in previous Q&As, if I like shoes or bags. And I was like, I'm a bag person. And he was now asking me, which ones are you planning or hoping to get? And I was like, I would recognize them. But he was like, what are they called? I was like, I don't know what they are called. He was like, you should make a list, like the things you want, start actively working towards it. And let me tell you guys, some of the things that I think that I've gotten acquired recently, I could well afford them from maybe 2019. But I would get into this mental space where I'd be like, if I cannot buy it 10 times, I'm not gonna buy it. And I understand that from it being smart, and I don't know, like there's a perspective that I was coming from that made complete sense to me. And then I got to a point last year where I didn't know if I was going to do my birthday. Like I told God that if I can't go to Dubai this year, I would go to Dubai this year to celebrate my birthday. So the reason why I'm kind of breaking this thing down is that I got to a point last year where I was going through a lot. And I felt like I had a question mark around quite a few things in my life. And I couldn't help thinking of some of the things that I wanted, that I knew that I couldn't, I don't want to cry, that I knew that I could give myself, but for some reason I had been putting off giving it to myself prior to that. And I promised myself that if things got easier, then I would. So if you people see me moving a certain way these days, it's not like I'm about to go broke one. It's also not like I said I found a tree that grows money. It's also because I've also decided to do certain things for myself and give them to myself, while I can enjoy it as well. I don't know if I'm making any sense or if this makes any sense, but get yourself the things that you can. So guys, I'd say all the advice I've given around money prior to now still holds, still stands. Do you understand? I'm not also doing anything outside of content creation, because I know that I've kind of broken this answer down to so many ways, but trust me, it's actually for a very valid reason. I have about at least 50 people here asking me a version of this question. So I don't do any new thing now outside of content creation. Content creation is what I do full time, and it does pay well, you know. If you're doing it and you're getting the views, I've kind of explained in previous videos that if you're someone who is averaging at least 1 million views here on YouTube monthly, you should be earning nothing less than $3,000 a month from AdSense alone. This is outside of brand endorsements. So if you're doing it a certain way and you're saving up money as well, it does pay well. It does pay well. But the thing about it is that there are so many factors involved, and the 3,000 that I've said, I feel like maybe that's kind of a minimum. I don't know. Depending on where your views are coming from, it could also affect it as well. So outside of what I've said now, do your investigation and read up on it. This answer was so long, but I hope I made sense. Okay, moving on. So I have Ada the Diva asking me, why did you move from your previous apartment? This is also a question that I've gotten. I have so many versions of it here, and there were a couple of reasons. I wanted a better place in terms of structure, because I was having a lot of issues there. Like, I don't even want to get into it, you know. A lot of the things you people said about that space was because I wanted my space to look a certain way, but I know what me and some of my neighbors were experiencing there. 1. 2 was that I also wanted a bigger space, right? I wanted a place where family could stay when they come over. I wanted a place that just had bigger space for some of the things that I was also planning to do, right? What are your investment choices? This is from Droge_Mira. One of the fastest, easiest one I'd recommend is buy stocks. If you can't, read up, educate yourself. There are ones that are maybe no-brainer-ish ones. If you're making good money, then maybe consider real estate. But don't just buy for the sake of buying. I feel like at this point, like I'm talking to a lot of people who are my age who are actually buying properties now, like buying flats and stuff like that. What I would say though is invest in properties that target people who are young, middle class. I feel like middle class largely. Like there are a lot of flats. So young, mobile people. If you're on the island, there are a lot of these properties, maybe from around second roundabout all the way down to Ajah. Do your research. You know, I think invest in those things in areas where you know that people will come and pay rent for. Like they're just quite a few ways, but I also don't want to say anything here where somebody will be like, Dimma says you can put my money here. Now my money is gone. Okay? So someone, Pamela_A, is asking me, what's your favorite makeup foundation right now? My favorite foundation right now that I'm wearing right now is Nars. What's it called? Nars. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I can't believe, but this is Nars Sheer Glow. Nars Sheer Glow, and I'm in the shade Macau. That's my favorite foundation at the moment, right? Someone is asking, Official Queen Living, where do you buy your comfortable heels from? I buy a lot of my comfortable heels from Asos. Asos is a very good place for me to shop shoes from. And I know that I answered the question where I kind of talking about how I was a bag person and not a shoe person. And you'll probably be wondering, why do I not like shoes? Guys, I'm quite tall. I've explained this before. I'm 5'10". If you're a tall girl shopping for heels, it gets tricky because one, there's the height factor. There's also a balance thing. If you're my height, you realize that a lot of people actually do not make shoes with tall women in mind, because it's not just even the design or the curve of the heel, it's also the weight that the heel has to carry. And I don't like wearing shoes where my ankles are wobbling. So there are certain brands that I look like, I say that I get shoes from. Dune is one, Office is one, Asos is one. These people, most of the time, I feel like they put thought into the actual architecture, if that makes sense, or structure of the shoes. So I found that they carry my weight nicely. Which question? I have a lot of I love yous here. Sweetest boys and girls, thank you. I love you all too. Okay. One question here is from Vicky OGB, and she's asking, what keeps you going? Hope. It's so crazy because that was a very central part of my devotional this morning. Hope and faith as well. Like, knowing that there is something so much bigger than where you are right now. Knowing that you have, for me, I have a God who is much, much bigger than any nonsense that's happening right now. Also knowing that He will give me the best. And even if it's not looking up right now, no matter how difficult it is looking, for me, it's hope. Hope. I feel like hope even motivates you. It gives you joy, you know? So this is from Ayoyinka_, and she's asking, do you think Nigeria will be better in our generation? To be honest, I don't know. If you asked me this question back in maybe 2010, 11, 12, I was very young then. Dollar was 150. Brands were delivering to Nigeria left, right, and center. Everything was looking good. I don't know. You know, I don't know. We're in such a difficult place. And guys, go get your PVCs, because I'm also saying this right now. Go and register, get your PVC, come out to vote. You might think that it does not matter, but trust me, it matters. So let us be begging God. That's all I'd say. So Ayoyinka is also asking, would you consider being an interior decorator or designer? I think that once I get my finances sorted to a certain degree, hit some milestones that I have with the current things that I'm focusing on, it's something that I would not mind taking on, because I really quite enjoy it. I like putting spaces together. I like designing spaces and all of that. So yeah, I'm not saying no to it at all. I have a question here, but I'm not going to say the name because I don't know how personal this question is for her. And she's basically saying, I want to start an organizing and decluttering business, but I don't know how much to charge. If I'll get clients, because it's not quite popular here in Nigeria, and I want to start a YouTube channel, but I'm 27 and I feel like it's too late. What do you think? First of all, it's never too late to start a YouTube channel. There are 50-year-olds who are here popping off and making money. Like, start. I feel like there's this scarcity or overpopulation or saturation mindset that people have when it comes to YouTube. No, I feel like it's not too late. 27 is not too late at all. Start your channel. I also think that the organizing and decluttering business, that people will take to it, I feel like way more than you think they would. I had like Stormy Pretty do up my pantry and organize it and label it for me, and a lot of people were really interested in someone that offered that type of service. So start your business, Jay. I have a question here from Frank_gift_media. House store, please, mama, plus where your furniture is from. Thank you in anticipation. I have so many people asking for a house tour here. I already explained that I do not think that I'll be doing a house tour this time around. I've said it here on YouTube. I've said it here. No, I've said it on Instagram as well. Some people even send this request to me like morning prayer in the morning. They wake up in the morning. First thing they say is Dimma house tour. The thing is, I don't think that I want to do one again. I've read and seen way too many weird things happen to people for showing their house in a certain type of way. And that's one. Two is, I had serious issues the last time I did this because of so I think that if I'm going to do something, I might as well do it well. I can't come here and do a house tour without telling you guys where my furniture is from, right? Or tell you guys who made it. And the 2 house tours I have done so far on YouTube, I did this. I provided the list of artisans and vendors and everybody that I used. What I could do is I might give you guys tours of different rooms. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. But what started happening is, I remember sometime last year when I was like, I've said this before, I was dealing with so much, and some babe came into my DMs and she was shouting at me about how one of the carpenters that had done work for me, and I shared his number, she was having issues with him. And she wasn't requesting and asking me, Dimma, put mouth or do something about this or please help me talk to him. She was literally talking to me in the most aggressive manner, basically commanding me to go talk to this guy, and now started saying things about how she was going to expose me. Because I remember sharing that, because at first I was like, am I the one that is not processing this well? I had to take screenshots of that message and I shared it. And people were asking me like they don't understand. I have said in all my videos that I am not in any way affiliated with the people who make artisans. It's just some of them. I don't talk to them again after they deliver things for me. The only carpenter that I remember that I kept on talking to after my previous house store was Mr. Kazim, and that's because he kept on making mirrors and making small additions for me to that house. So I don't even talk to these people. So the fact that I would do something, take my time, compile a list out of the goodness of my heart, and have some people attack me when they run into one issue with them, I don't like it. And I know I said this and people were like, oh, don't let one person. It wasn't just one person, guys. It was quite a few people. And there were also people who I kind of knew personally who, they have a problem with these people. They don't want to sort it out. They want to drag me into it. Immediately my phone will start ringing. Guys, no. I can't do it again. I don't think I can. Someone is here, Beauty Bounty MW, asking, which shopping website do you prefer? Asos, Pretty Little Thing, or Shein? Asos, definitely, of the three that you listed. So this is from Aikana Daywell 22. Don't be angry, okay, because I know I butchered that. But she's asking, or he's asking, because I can't see a DP, how do you make your white bedsheet last in bed? I wash mine every week. I actually use white sheets because I want to wash them every week. It forces you to wash them every week. So yeah, I use it because I feel like it just makes you cleaner and all of that. So yeah, that's why I use white sheets. Someone, Choma07 is asking, do you exercise? Are you on a diet? No. I'm trying to start working out, but I'm not going to lie and say that I'm working out right now. And no, I am not on a diet as well. Choma is also asking, how do you keep your hands looking good? I think my hands, the way they look, and a lot of the compliments I get about them is actually largely good genes. My mom has very good hands, so I think that I just inherited that because I don't have a special hand care routine, and a lot of you actually think that I do, but I don't. So this is from don't_follow_. How do you cope with having your closest friends living far away from you? This is actually a very good question. It can be very hard. Like my favorite people in this world, they don't live in Lagos. But the truth is, between the end of last year and now, I have made very good connections. Mazino, for example, is like one of my favorite people right now. And we hang out a lot. And it's a connection that I just really appreciate, you know. But it can be hard, especially the people who know you from like way back when they're not around. I just try to keep up with them. Like I talk to Christabel every day. I talk to Fredero every day. I talk to Norma every day. FaceTime more. We see each other. So thank God for the internet. So this is from As Advertised. And he's asking, you have amazing taste in interior decor. Thank you so much. How challenging is that versus what is available in Nigeria? It can be really hard. And that's the reason why there really isn't a place like IKEA or Wayfair or a very nice place that you say you walk into. It also has its perks because we have artisans who are able to custom make a lot of things for you, you know, and at a fraction of what it will cost to get custom made furniture in like first world countries, if that makes any sense. So what I do is I just use artisans. I use carpenters and people. I sketch out what they want, we go over the design, we finalize, and they make me what I want, and that works for me right now. How can I, so this is from Bomaye, and she's asking, or she's asking, how can I start a channel, make it really engaging and spring forth? I just say be yourself, look at trends, pick a niche. I really think that one of the most difficult ways to blow on YouTube is to start out lifestyle. Lifestyle is so broad, right? It's one of those places where you're doing so many things at the same time. And I'm just saying based on observation and studying the platform and the algorithm, it's too broad. And I feel like people enjoy lifestyle content from creators they feel like they already know. It's not necessarily the category I say start with. Beauty, cooking, fashion, maybe start travel. There's so many other ways to start and then begin to gradually incorporate lifestyle. But I think that niching things down actually makes it very easy, much easier. This question is from Nini. She says, I love you, Dimma, my ride or die, always in my prayers. You're the reason I have a channel. This is such a thoughtful thing to say to me. Thank you so much. So she asked a question. She says, do you or have you ever been betrayed by a friend? Is it right to trust the same person again? I've had some friendship fallouts. I think at least 3. within the course of my adult life that I remember clearly that actually matter, with people who I thought that I would probably go, like, be talking to them when my hair was grey, and it hurts. I think that people sometimes downplay just how much friendship breakups hurt. And some of the time, or sometimes when it has happened, it's about you feeling like they've broken your trust. The thing is, I feel like in some situations you can actually work past it. There are times when I know that maybe I've fallen out with somebody, we've gone years without speaking, and then we just get back to talking and we see we've missed each other and we carry on. What I do know that sometimes is that the things that led to the breakup, like, it kind of lingers sometimes. But I think it's something you guys can move past and have wholesome conversations around, and, you know, have it, both of you apologize to each other, move on. It is possible. I don't think that it means that the relationship has to die completely. But friendship breakup is a thing, and I'm also using friendship breakup now because I have about 3 people asking me about friendship, if I have ever experienced it and what did I do. What you do, because I'm one of those people that I always like closure, sometimes you try to get it, and sometimes in you looking for closure leads to a conversation that actually leads to some sort of resolution. But then if it's a situation where you cannot get closure, like, move on with your life. You know, human beings never finish. You're going to get another friend. So last question from her is, how do you stay close to God at all times? I started my journey strongly last year, and the closer I get to God, the more I feel like a sinner. I feel like I'm not doing enough. I feel like most of the time, and I even had this conversation with someone recently where we don't know sometimes that it's the devil that is making us feel guilty about certain things. God's love is not something that you earn. Like, it doesn't come from what you're doing. Yeah, there are things you do ideally that makes your relationship with him better, but God loves you as you are. And I feel like sometimes when we err or when we make mistakes that are very, very human, you know, the devil kind of tells us, oh. And it's like, it's a very human thing, because you think, oh, if I've offended a person I know on this plane that much, somebody that tells me they don't like that type of thing, they will never forgive me, so I might as well not even bother. And the devil tries to convince you that that is who God is. That's not who he is. So you feeling like a sinner the closer you come to him, I don't even think that that is God largely speaking to you. You know, when that is happening, I think keep your eye on him. And I think that when you realize that God loves you in a way that is not in any way comparable to what you can get from a human being, you know that your mistakes sometimes are even like to be expected. He knows how human you are. And that this is most likely going to be the outcome of this thing he has given you. But he's going to be there when you come back, looking for him again. Don't beat yourself up like that, okay? You guys are asking me to do an updated perfume video. Do you guys want to see that? I have so many new perfumes. Like, my collection has grown and everything. It's not a big boy. You guys need to see my new perfume collection. I take smelling nice so seriously. Like, I'm not joking. Like, I take smelling nice so seriously. So this person is asking me to keep them anonymous, but they're asking, what do I think about someone who is in a distant relationship and just one person keeps visiting the other? This is a very good question. I'm going to start out by answering, no vex, is that I cannot do long distance relationship. All of you that are doing it, you people deserve a cookie or a trophy or something, okay? I just can't do it. My heart, I don't think I handle it. I know what my love languages are, but one of the very, very key ones for me is quality time. If I love someone, I want to spend time with the person. So those of you who do long distance, to be honest, you guys deserve an award. I don't know how you guys are doing it. I have quite a few friends who are even doing it at the moment. And I also think that long distance, I've seen it happen in situations where there is no money, but I also have observed it with people who get money, and I feel like money makes it sweeter. If you guys are able to travel and see each other quite often, then I think that a lot of issues kind of balance out. But this situation where you're explaining where only one person keeps visiting the other, why is that? Is it that the other person can afford to but just chooses not to, or that they cannot afford to? Because there are very specific reasons as to why people do things. But if it's in a situation where they can well afford to do that, but they never bother to, yeah, you're dating a ghost. If you ask me, because you asked me. Doesn't make sense. If you can afford to spare the time as well, but you just refuse to do it, something is wrong. A lot of people here, okay, because I feel like I've scrolled 10 times now. Is boyfriend. Are you dating? Best in boyfriend Dubai vlog. You people should free me, okay? Free me, yes. But yes, the answer to that question is yes. I am dating. Can we all calm down, please? I have a boyfriend. So this is from Kiki Festus, and she's asking, at what age did you decide to live alone at 26? I moved out of my parents' house at 26. Sorry that the light looks wonky, guys. Like, this is my first time filming here, and this is actually notes that I'm taking now on how to make sure that things are a lot more stable. So Dr. Honey is asking here, what is the least amount of money you charge for brand deals? There are so many factors that come into the way you charge for certain things, and one thing that I'd just definitely say is that you have, depending on what they want. So for example, on Instagram, if you want a video that is more work, that attracts a different fee. A picture, a different fee. Instagram stories, a different fee. With YouTube, if you're trying to pay for an integration, the smaller the integration, the cheaper it is. The longer the integration, the more expensive it is. So you think about the amount of work that actually goes into whatever it is anybody's asking for at a given time, and let that guide the way you build them. So someone, Joyce Godwin _ is asking, where do you shop for spices? Funny enough, one of my favorite places to get spices here in Lagos is Shoprite. Shoprite has a very good, nice spice selection. If you like Supreme Spice, you get them the cheapest at Shoprite, for example, or Z Spice Supreme, I don't know what they are called. But if you don't now find it there, then you go to Hartley's. Hartley's also has a very nice selection. But the thing is, because a lot of their spices are kind of like more of their high-end brands, you would find what you're looking for, but you probably pay higher for it, you know. Kisha's World 1 is saying my concealer is grey. Why? The concealer is not good. That's why it's grey, okay? It oxidizes. Some of them do this thing where if they oxidize, the color changes in a bad way. That's probably what that concealer is doing. So I would recommend that you switch brands. And guys, Ida Peters is asking, how are you enjoying your new home? I'm really, really enjoying this place. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. So Share _ is saying, why has it taken you so long to film again? I've missed you like a fat kid misses cake. This is so sweet. But guys, I have been sorting out my house and I just couldn't do all of, like, for me to film, I need a filming room, and I didn't have a filming room for a while. I have one now, so yeah. So this is from Thai _ Moja, and she's asking, styling tips for your body type, please, if you don't mind. This is actually a very good question. I am an inverted triangle. I think that this shape is popularly called, I don't know what else it's called, but there are quite a few people who have this body type. Naomi Campbell, Angelina Jolie, and it's not the conventional body type here, or what I feel like a lot of people like drool over, like. But the thing about it is that it is still lovely. It's a lovely body type to have. So the thing about it is I try to emphasize my waist as much as possible with whatever it is I'm wearing. Also, things that kind of open up in the neck, you know, look very good on our body type, because I reckon that you're asking this because we have the same body type. So things that kind of open up neck look good on our body type. Things that like cinch, come together at the waist look good. When it comes to pants, I think that things that also give you volume, or dresses on the bottom, if it's going to be tapered at the bottom, then make sure that it kind of emphasizes your waist, just kind of so that it breaks it down and you don't look straight. But then things that have volume on the bottom tend to look better on us, like pants, like dad jeans, like flared jeans. You know, if you're also going to wear like skinny jeans, like make sure that you kind of emphasize it somewhere around the waist. It could even be with wearing a crop top, you know, things that also kind of expose the shoulder and cleavage. I think they really look good on our body type. So yeah. So Moloku _ Peter is asking, when are we expecting you on I Said What I Said podcast again? Jola and FK. Somebody's calling people here. Millie _ as always is saying, Dimma, I relate so much with you and I pray God blesses you always. Oh, love you always. Thank you so much. So this is from the Amazon Deb, and she's asking, how are you? And I hope you haven't been under pressure to make a big move in the industry. To be honest, no. And like I said, I have people who are just like keeping me accountable and making sure that I don't let unnecessary things bother me. Guys, I think that my face is a bit shiny, but that's it for this video. Okay, I don't even know why I'm applying powder when I'm about to take this makeup off, but yes, that's it for this video, guys. If you feel like I did not answer your question and it's not something I've answered before, please, I'll do another Q&A and I'll just ask you guys to ask, but this video is already long as it is. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to me if you're not yet subscribed. A lot of relevant links and information that you need will be in the description box as usual. I'll see you guys in my next one. Mwah.